Ladies and gentlemen, students and faculty, step right up to the graduation of the class of 1982. If I sound like I'm welcoming you to a circus or a sideshow, in many ways these ceremonies resemble just that. Graduation is a show. For our parents and our teachers, a chance to be proud of those fostered and guided for 4 years, to see them beautifully displayed in purple and white. For us, the graduates, it is another kind of show. A show of gratitude, of course, to all those parents and teachers and administrators. Even more striking than that, it is the final show. For the past 4 years, with a great amount of consistency, we have come to the halls of West each day, drilling through a routine of classes, a routine of homework, a routine of dedication to West's academic and extracurricular activities. This routine ended as each of us took our last final. That, of course, for many of us would suffice as an end to our 4 years at West, a quiet, gradual, fleeting end. However, these past 4 years are like no other in our lifespan. They were packed with laughter and tears and good times, self-learning and people learning, a huge amount of growth and pain, a collage of the dedication of academics and the wildness of youth. To end this era of our lives, a quiet end will not do. And so, here is our end. A bang, louder and more colorful than any 4th of July firecracker. Ladies and gentlemen, one and all, I welcome you to the graduation of Cherry Hill High School West, class of '82. A show, a celebration of the learning and sharing of the past beautiful 4 years. Thank you.
Graduation is a joyous occasion for all here today of the class of '82. This year has been filled with many memories. However, one memory is one of a tragic happening that took the life of one of our peers earlier this year. On December 28th, James Panicola died of cancer after a long-fought struggle. Jimmy was a classmate who involved himself heavily in both studies and athletics. His soul was of a true nature, and his friendship was known by many. We will all miss Jimmy, and I would appreciate our having a moment of silence for Jimmy and the Panicola family. To all graduates, I urge you to follow your goals in life, to fulfill your capabilities while time permits. For time wasted is time lost forever. Thank you.
This time, I would like to introduce our platform guests. Mrs. Sylvia Misbin, President of the Board of Education. Mr. James Marino, Vice President of the Board of Education. Dr. Stephen Barbell, Member of the Board of Education. Robert N. Friedman, Member of the Board of Education. Mrs. J. Halpern, Member of the Board of Education. Mrs. Faith Jerome, Member of the Board of Education. Mrs. Marianne Raffaele, Member of the Board of Education. And Mrs. Eleanor Stoffman, Member of the Board of Education. I would also like to introduce the Superintendency. Superintendent of Schools, Dr. William A. Shine. Assistant to the Superintendent, Roland C. Hill. Assistant Superintendent, Robert W. Ferris. Assistant Superintendent, John H. McKeon. And School Business Administrator, Board Secretary, James F. Walsh, Administrative Assistant William Laub. Thank you, gentlemen. I should also like to introduce the Assistant Principal for the class of 1982, Mr. Edward H. Collins. And the class advisor, Mr. Larry Casto. I should like to take a special moment to ask our faculty members to stand. These men and women who have chosen to join us this evening in honoring our graduates are the people responsible for preparing our students for this moment. Please join me in thanking them for their fine work. The Governor of the class of 1982, Mohan Sundaralingam.
Fellow classmates, as we stand before our family and friends today, ready to accept our diplomas and the responsibilities which go with them, I ask you to look back on our 4 years here at West. During this time, we went through many changes as we saw ourselves grow both emotionally and intellectually. The lessons which we learned, whether in the classroom, on the athletic field, or after school, all helped to form our personalities and develop our maturity. High school has helped to open our eyes to the reality of today's society. And as we get ready to enter into this same environment, it becomes obvious that the past 4 years have also set up a foundation for success. No matter what your future plans are, whether they include college, military service, or entering the job market, we will all leave here with the same basic foundation. During our 4 years here at West, we have learned to take pride in ourselves and in the personal achievements which we have accomplished. So the success that I speak of is not necessarily a materialistic one, but more importantly, a spiritual and intangible one. What is success? The dictionary tells us that it is the attainment of wealth, favor, or eminence. But do these things really ensure happiness? Perhaps the best definition of success, which I can offer to you today, is the one that the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave to the 1964 graduating class at Howard University. He said, "Life at its best is a coherent triangle. It consists of the length of life, which is the inward drive to attain one's personal goals, the breadth of life, which is the outward concern for the welfare of others, and the height of life, which is one's upward reach for God. Although we will inevitably encounter setbacks, we must look ahead to our eventual goals and continue to strive to reach them. To balance one's attainment of personal goals, his concern for others, and his reach for God is no easy task. But here at West, we have been given the opportunity to try. Hopefully, by this time, we have attained the foundation for this triangle. In today's society, it takes a great amount of patience and perseverance to form an equilateral base, as the pressure of life is getting stronger every day. It is the goals which we set for ourselves which are the truly important ones. And if we can all live up to our own expectations and not those of society, then happiness and success will be guaranteed. While here at West, we also discovered that the pleasure which we derive from attaining our own goals could also be gotten by helping others reach theirs. During the past 4 years, we have formed bonds of friendship which will last forever. Ever since we entered West in 1978, we were told that school spirit was essential if we wanted to succeed in high school. We often questioned this, but it seemed that no one was ever able to give us a straight answer. Well, perhaps that is because the answer lies within each individual here. The spirit which was instilled in us as freshmen represents not only our love for the school, but more importantly, our excitement about life. So this spirit will not die when we leave the stadium today. Instead, it will live within us wherever we go in the future. The spirit which I talk about should combine with our reach for God to form the last leg of this triangle. In today's society, the need for guidance and support is perhaps greater than it ever was before. So, my friends, as we get ready to enter into society, I hope you will all keep this definition of success in mind. And as we leave high school today, I hope you will always remember Cherry Hill West. And wherever life takes you in the future, you will be able to look back and discover just where you came from. Thank you very much.
I would like to introduce Alan Lee, the valedictorian of the Cherry Hill High School West class of 1982. Alan earned the highest cumulative grade point average in the class. Alan?
Today is a day of mixed emotions. On one hand, a joyous feeling exists because after 4 years at Cherry Hill High School West, we, the class of 1982, are finally graduating. On the other hand, a feeling of sadness and a sense of loss also prevails because today marks the end of a period in our lives which can never be recaptured. For the last several years, we have spent a great part of our lives at West, and as we depart, we carry many pleasant memories with us. Over the years, we have developed everlasting friendships, and we have shared many good times together. Our high school years has been a period in our lives when we have grown physically, mentally, and emotionally. When we first entered high school 4 years ago, we were relatively, quote, immature and inexperienced, according to the upperclassmen. Since that time, we have definitely matured into young adults, and during our high school years, we have learned more about ourselves and about other people. It is often forgotten that a high school like West is not only a learning institution where we have obtained an excellent education, but it is also a place where we have grown and matured. The education that we have received from West is beyond comparison. The quality and the dedication of the teachers and the quality of our educational programs, such as the English Lab program, distinguish West students from many other students in the nation. The education that we have received from West has established a basis from which we can venture into the job market or continue our formal education in college. Our education has enriched us with knowledge, culture, and discipline, and has paved the way for a better understanding of the society we live in. This graduation today marks the successful completion of our high school education. We have worked arduously for countless hours in order to finally obtain our high school diplomas, and as a result, every graduating student merits much credit and praise. The contribution that each student has made to West cannot be truly measured by grade point averages or by the number of awards that one has received. Every graduating student has contributed in class and in school activities to make West a truly great school. Many other people deserve credit for our high school success: our parents, our principal, school administrators, and other school employees, to name a few. However, next to the students, it is our teachers who deserve the most credit. Not only have our teachers taught us about such subjects as Shakespeare and biology, but our teachers have also become our friends, to whom we could turn to for advice and support. At times, it may have appeared that we were only in class in body and not in spirit, and that sometimes we were not overly eager to do our schoolwork. But in retrospect, we possess sincere appreciation and deep respect for our teachers. We realize now that all of that schoolwork was for our own benefit, and we highly recommend that our teachers work our fellow underclassmen twice as hard for their own benefit. As this graduation ceremony nears its end, the future lies in front of us. In a few months, we will be engaging in new enterprises and facing new challenges. Obtaining our high school diplomas is the first major step we have taken in order to achieve our goals we have established for ourselves. But the world is very complicated, and there are many obstacles working against your dreams. However, always hold on to your dreams and strive to attain them. In the future, there will be times when you will want to give up and forsake your dreams, but you should remember that you were able to succeed in high school, and if you really try hard, you can succeed in anything. Perhaps this thought will give you enough self-confidence and strength to forge ahead and attain your goals in life. The world is open to you, and with hard work and determination, you can have what you want and be whom you want. Today isn't the end, it's just the beginning of a bright future. I'd also like to say good luck to everyone, and I don't know about anybody else, but I'm glad we're graduating today.
At this time, I would like to introduce Donna Orrell, President of the Cherry Hill High School West National Honor Society.
This day, this month, this year. This is the moment we have mutually waited for with anticipation, hope, and pride. It is a day filled with great emotion, very mixed emotion. Although it is a thrill to have come this stage in our lives, I'm sure that as we look back, we will all miss special parts of this once-in-a-lifetime experience. High school has not simply been a place for gathering knowledge. We have had the chance to develop many social qualities, and we've had the opportunity to discover what we really have inside. Above all, we won't forget our high school. It will remain a part of our heart and soul forever, and it will be a link to whatever type of situation or experience enters into our lives. This is a link to knowledge. Through these past 4 years, our knowledge has increased substantially. We have acquired important skills as well as had the chance to learn through experience, both personal and vicarious. I am confident that we will use this knowledge as a link and basis for future learning. Through our link, we also developed security and pride. We have not only gained security from friendships we made with our peers and teachers, but we've also gained confidence through some of our accomplishments. Perhaps more importantly, we have learned to help ourselves. As it has been said, what a man does not work out for himself, he does not have. This type of feeling has helped to secure our pride, and I hope in one way or another, each of us can walk away today with some special pride for our high school. Most importantly of all, this is a link to discovery. I believe from the individual talents we have discovered at West, we will receive much joy from in the future. From taking some risks while we were at high school, we should find encouragement to take challenges in the future. For succeeding at a challenge is perhaps one of the most fulfilling aspects of life. Through this time together, we've learned to cope with each other, and we've learned about caring. High school is not simply for the whole, but also for the individual. For if I am not for myself, who will be for me? But if I am for myself only, what am I? And if not now, when? I wish each of you a world of success. May you find happiness always.
1982 has met the requirements of the state of New Jersey and the Cherry Hill Board of Education for graduation.
Mrs. Katz, on behalf of the Cherry Hill Board of Education, I accept the Cherry Hill High School West class of 1982 and authorize its commencement. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Stephen Barbell of the Cherry Hill Board of Education.
It gives me great pleasure to represent the Cherry Hill Board of Education in sharing in the celebration of your graduation from Cherry Hill High School West. The graduating class of 1982 holds a unique and very special distinction in that you are the only West graduating class to have spent more than half your educational years in Cherry Hill under the leadership and direction of Dr. William A. Shine. No other class has had or will have the good fortune to have been guided through the final 7 years of the finest of educational pathways by the firm and yet caring hand of Dr. Shine. As you embark on your future destinies, I urge you to heed the words of John Dewey, one of America's greatest educational philosophers, who wrote, "Teachers are learners, and learners, without knowing it, are teachers." In other words, as you go forth, be it for further schooling, or into the workplace, or into military or public service, use your contacts with your fellow man as an opportunity both to inform and be informed, to constantly strive to improve the lot of those around you, and in doing so, be improved yourself by them. If you realize that the successful person is one who is learning from those around him, and at the same time is helping and teaching these same people, then you, each of you, cannot help but be a success. On behalf of the Cherry Hill Board of Education, I wish each and every one of you the very best of life, and God bless you all.
At this time, Mohan Santharalingam, the president of the class, would like to make a special presentation.
This evening, I have the privilege of presenting a special award to someone who has meant a great deal to the students of Cherry Hill for the past 7 years. I'd like at this time to call Dr. Shine to the podium. After 7 years, Dr. Shine is leaving Cherry Hill, and we wish him well. It is my privilege to present him with an honorary diploma from Cherry Hill West in the class of 1982.
Thank you.
This is the second honor that I've had from West High School this year. The first honor was to be briefly welcomed as part of the West faculty. Your distinguished faculty is representative of the finest secondary school teachers in the country. I consider West High School to be among the finest academic institutions in the United States. I thank you for providing me with the opportunity to be here and to be linked with you for the rest of my life as a graduate of West High School. Thank you.
I would like to have the members of the Board of Education join me in distributing the diplomas to the members of the class.
Mr. Casto, would you please accept the honor of reading the names of the class officers, valedictorian, and the National Honor Society president?
Mohan Santharalingam, Class Governor. Robert Paul Nolan, Lieutenant Governor. Donna Lynn Orrell, Honor Society President. Alan H. Lee, valedictorian.
I would like to ask Mohan Santharalingam, Robert Nolan, and Brad Volotsky to read the names of the members of the class of 1982. Please hold your applause until the last student in the entire class has received the diploma. Thank you.
You ready? Brad Allen Malatsky. Tanya Michelle Renfro. Susan Ingrid Bone. Stephen Canuso. Alan Lawrence Kerner. Judith Ann Davis. Beth Charlotte Gans. John Daniel DeGeneva. Bruce Perry Matez. Deborah Marie Curatola. Mary Beth Leonard. Lee Garland Barnett. Brian David Wayman. Denise Christine Carvin. Bobby S. Factoroff Block. Carmen A. DeTour. Joshua Daniel Lubar. Cheryl Ann Edgerton Green. Sabina Reichbach. Alan Samuel Greenberg. Christopher Peter Calder. Penny Risa Hornstein. Margaret Ann Kiefner. David John Crozer. Jess Padua Reyes. Deborah Marcia Steele. Sue Young Kim. Jocelyn Udell. Alan J. Rosenberg. William Joseph Booth. Susan Mindy Epstein. Cheryl Ann Stewart. Joseph R. Vidal. Herbert Mitchell Denmark. Rosemary Teresa Basulka. Lisa Ann Bogert. Nimish Shah. James Dickerson. Sharon Diedelbaum. Haijun Lee. Mark Todd Maisie.
Goodbye, my friends. It is time we speak those words, and with the words of our heart we march on. For it is a time of embracing and letting go, endings and beginnings, smiles and tears, hopes and fears. At this time, all of these feelings are a part of us, and so they are woven into the fabric of our lives forever. But at this moment, I must speak goodbye. I would like to close with a poem by the American poet Stanley Kunitz entitled Benediction. God banish from your house the fly, the roach, the mouse that riots in the walls until the plaster falls. Admonish from your door the hypocrite and liar. No shy, soft, tigerish fear permit upon your stare, nor agents of your doubt. God drive them whistling out. Let nothing touched with evil, let nothing that can shrivel heart's tenderest frond intrude upon your still, deep blood. Against the drip of night, God keep all windows tight. Protect your mirrors from surprise, delirium. Admit no trailing wind into your shuttered mind to plume the lake of sleep with dreams. If you must weep, God give you tears, but leave you secrecy to grieve, and islands for your pride, and love to nest in your side. God grant that to the bone yourself may be your own. God grant that I may be my sweet, sweet company. Goodbye, my sweet company.
Yeah!